Welcome back, everyone. So today we're going to do another long-range mission flight with my scratch-built long-range plane. I've made some modifications to it since the last video, so let me run through that first. First of all, I've upgraded to TBS Crossfire. I've got the full range module. I'm only going to be running it at 1 watt. I think that's the max with the built-in Taranis battery, so I don't have to run an external battery. I also chopped off the nose of the plane and added a swivel. It's actually a winch servo for sailboats, but it allows me to rotate the cameras around to look at the wingtips. So the TBS Crossfire receiver is in there, and it's connected using MavLink, not S-Bus. And then I've also got smart audio going to the video transmitter. I've got the Lewis script. I can control the frequency and the strength, so I'm going to run it at 800 milliwatts, which is the max for this flight because I'm doing a range check tonight. We're going to see how far we can get. Over here on my ground station, I've got the monitor. It's the same as before. This RSSI is not going to be right though, because it's not getting any input. It's all going to be from my controller. Then I've also got the Bluetooth hooked up to my phone, so I can look on the map and see exactly where the plane is, some other information. So that's the Bluetooth here is connected to the TBS Crossfire module in the back of my controller. So it's sending the MavLink data back to this. That's pretty much it. So let's get flying. So it's in return to home mode right now, just circling while I was getting everything set up. So now we're going to test out cruise mode. I think that should hold the heading and the... Oh, that's the wrong one. I think cruise mode should hold the heading and the altitude, if I'm correct. Yeah, and it's doing auto throttles too. So we're just going to head out this way to the west a little bit, gain some altitude. Actually, I'm just going to do manual mode. So we're flying pretty much directly at the sun. So that's good, so I know where it is. According to my phone's Bluetooth map, we're directly over those buildings that you just saw. And we're 4,600 feet away. The video's starting to get kind of bad. All right, I'm gonna put it in the fly-by-wire mode. And then let's turn around and look at our right wingtip. There it is. Nice and smooth. We're 7,000 feet away, so over a mile. The video's starting to get a little bit sketchy.
4 minutes.
So go ahead and bank around and come back now. Is that a train? I think that's a train. It looks like it. Let's stop there. Let's take a look over at the railroad tracks. It looks like a stopped train. This is pretty cool with the camera on the servo. Look over here to our right. I think I need to recalibrate level. I think the plane's naturally trying to go right just a little bit. Might not be calibrated quite perfectly. The other day I was at a high school out in the country flying, and I put it into return to home mode just to test it out while I was getting everything ready. And the plane banked at like an 85-degree angle, and the wing snapped off, or like it snapped in half. It cracked the spar, and then I had to land it upside down. I'll cut to the footage right now and show you. But it was pretty good landing, I'd say, on my behalf to land it upside down. And after that, I added a whole bunch more spars, carbon strips to the wing, so it's pretty sturdy now. I don't think it would break. But the issue is that in Ardupilot, I had the maximum roll set to 85 degrees, which was left over from when I had this system in my flying wing, which was a little more agile and faster than this glider plane. So I changed that to 35 degrees now, so this plane, when it's in auto modes, like return to home or any of the automatic modes, it won't bank more than 35 degrees.
98.
So 98%, I'm guessing, I think that's what that is on the signal strength for the Crossfire, so it's doing really good. We'll cruise out here to this, see if we can make it to that bright green, yellowish field out there in the distance. It's really neat having the phone app to be able to see exactly where it's at on the map. Like if the video goes out, I could like pretty much still fly just through the phone app, because I have my
8 minutes.
I have the altitude, the speed, where it's at. I have the artificial horizon and everything. And then of course I could always put it into return to home mode if everything fails. So this is an interesting yellow field out here. At least on my monitor it looks yellow. About a mile, a little over a mile out. It's about 7,000 feet. It looks like about 8,000 feet is the maximum range for this video system. I see a lot of people that run long range do 2.4. They do 2.4 gigahertz video systems or 1.2 gigahertz, I think, 1.3 gigahertz, which allows for a longer distance. This is pretty good right now. So at least now I know that my video cannot outrun the control link. So I should always have control. It's a nice little forest down there. Let's take a look to the right here. Here. At the sunset. Put it in manual mode and do a steep turn here. Look at that forest.
10 minutes.
It turns around a point. I also bought a pitot tube. It's a Matek pitot tube, analog airspeed sensor, and I'm going to be hooking that up soon too. So I'll show you guys how that works in the next video. So I'll be able to get actual airspeed. Right now on my monitor I have the ground speed. Right now it's showing about 30 miles per hour, but that's not accurate for the actual plane because of course
11 minutes.
it could be going 0 miles per hour over the ground and still be going through the air if there's enough wind. So it'd be interesting to see. I could take it up and test its stall characteristics and see exactly what airspeed it stalls at. It'd be kind of interesting to do. Another cool thing is that with the Crossfire I have all my telemetry on my controller too. So I think I might set up like a landing mode where it'll count, like it'll tell me the altitude, like scream it out like real planes do, like it'll be like 100, 75, 50 as I'm coming into land.
12 minutes.
But I'll have that on a switch so it only does it when I'm landing, so it doesn't just do it all the time because it'd be annoying. We'll take it back over to the park. There's nobody here, so I'm gonna fly over the east side of the park, see if we can go over that way. It's kind of boring flying over these fields after a while. So we're only at 36% throttle right now, so that's pretty good. Also, on the video, it's getting kind of dark out here. So if I were to have to land it by line of sight, it'd be okay, but it'd be a little bit challenging if it gets a little darker. So I'm thinking I might put some lights on it. I think that'd be cool. Just put some wingtip lights, nothing fancy, probably no flashing or anything, just the green and red navigation lights and maybe a couple whites that are just on all the time. So let's take a look to the left. Right over there in that field's where we are, just below our left wingtip. We're gonna follow this road over by the water tower here. I don't see any cars, so I don't think there's anybody in the fields doing any group activities. But we'll keep it over this farm field just to be safe. I don't like to fly over groups of people. So often in front of us and to our right, maybe about a mile away from us, starts Class D airspace. It's a controlled airport. I actually used to work there. It's the Ohio State Airport. It's run by the Ohio State University. So we're definitely gonna stay out of their airspace. But it's kind of cool. Sometimes if it's clear enough, you can see like a green patch just on the horizon. But they have a lot of general aviation planes over there, little Cessnas, and they told me it was actually the 3rd busiest airport in Ohio because they have so many general aviation planes and like small business jets and stuff. It's pretty neat. So now let's take a look. The park that we're at is over here to our left. You can see all the baseball diamonds. It doesn't look like they have the lights on tonight. The other night they were playing a game and they had all the lights on. Hopefully some of the street lights are starting to come on and it'll look cool in the video.
16.
So there's a lot of trees between me now. There's almost a whole forest. So I'm just gonna walk over here. I hear a train coming, so I'm gonna head back over here. I kind of want to look at it, see it moving. I'm not sure what these white silo things are, but they look like gas or something. I don't know if it's water or what. So Right, here's the park. You can see the trees there. And we got some high power lines there, but they're well below us. Over here to our right, this is actually, I looked it up, this whole complex is Amazon servers for like cloud computing and stuff. So that's pretty interesting. There's the train. You can probably see the light on it. It looks like it's on there. We'll bring it down just a little bit too. There it is. I used to love trains before I got into these airplanes. This is CSX Railroad here. You probably see the gates flashing. Getting pretty low now. They're about 230 feet. No cars though. Looks like there might be one car behind the train on the other side of the tracks. Maybe that's just the gates flashing. It's pretty cool though. Look at that. No cars. That's good. Normally I wouldn't fly this low over these buildings, but they're closed right now and I don't think there's anyone there. Unless I really wanted to see the train. That was pretty cool. All right, we're at 20 minutes. Showing 14.9 volts on the battery, so that's good. So I saw some people were recommending to use 6-inch props instead of 5-inch 3-blades. So I switched to some 6-inch 2-blade props. And then I added a throttle limit to only 70%. I added it in Ardupilot, so the autonomous features will never go over 70%. And I also added it to my transmitter, and that gives me more than enough power to climb out at a really steep angle. So you can see on the FPV feed, I'm only really never really going over 50%, just cruising around. Really, it cruises around pretty well at just like 30% throttle. I'll put it in fly-by-wire, keep it steady here.
22 minutes.
Cruise around. It looks like the lights are starting to come on over there by the buildings and stuff. Mosquitoes are coming out. I'm gonna bring it in now. Actually, here, I'm gonna put it into Return to Home. I wanna show you the app on my phone. It's pretty cool. So it's circling, it's in Return to Home mode. Over here, you can see what I'm seeing. Kind of bright, but over here is the phone app. You can see the plane there, it's just circling me, which is pretty neat to be able to see. And you see they got the artificial horizon there, got the battery voltage, 14.5. Has the current on there if I had a current meter, but I don't. All right, so I'm gonna take over control of it again.
Manual mode.
Got manual mode. Look out. All right, so we're gonna make our approach here. I want to be like almost on the ground as soon as I cross over this road. I'll show you. The road that leads into the park, right there in front of us, the snaking looking road. Once we cross it, I'd like to be at it like almost on the ground, just because then I have plenty of room to go around if I need to. There's a car. And we're still in manual mode, so that's good. I've got full control.
Minutes.
All right, so here's the road. There's no cars on the park road, so we're gonna cut it and let it glide in. And now everything's looking good. I think I can do a FPV landing. I can barely even see the plane in real life. It's so dark. Okay, there it is. I got visual. This is a line of sight landing now. Flare. Nice. That was a pretty good landing. So thanks a lot for watching. This was a pretty eventful flight. Usually these are just flying over fields and pretty boring. We got to see a train and a helicopter. That was pretty neat. So thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you later.